Right.
Let's actually talk about something real.
Okay.
Okay. Did you want to start with any of those?
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, a lot's happened as far as geek stuff this week. First off in the news, DC pushed up the date for Superman vs. Batman by 2 months
Yes.
in order to get it out of the way for Captain America 2.
The pre-Justice
They
League.
also added
Wait, what?
9
Captain
more
America
films.
2?
3. I mean, Captain
9
America
more
3.
films riding on the success of Batman vs. Superman.
What's happening right now? Wait, okay. Batman vs. Superman,
Okay.
Justice League movies, Captain America 3. Make sense of this.
Okay,
What?
So Captain America 3 is coming out before Avengers 2?
No, because we're getting Avengers 2, I think, early next year, right? And then for the summer, we're getting... We'll look up the dates. Let's look up the dates. Anyway, apparently the DC and Marvel were going to go head-to-head in the movie theaters.
The DC.
The DC. The one and only DC.
DC.
You've been following too much Iron Sheik.
Yeah.
DC.
The DC. And Marvel Studios were going to go head-to-head this upcoming summer 2015.
May 1st is when
What year?
Age of Ultron comes out. Next year.
Yeah. So we're going to get that earlier, and then we're going to, for the summer, be getting Captain America 3. Originally, it was going to be that they were going head-to-head with Superman versus Batman, but I guess because of the success of Guardians of the Galaxy, they ended up pushing it up 2 months,
Oh, yeah.
which is kind of big. Usually only push back or forward within a couple weeks or so, because it takes a long time to make a movie, especially one with all those graphics and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's pretty big news. I, for one, don't think it was really them backing down so much as it just being a logical thing to do.
Yeah.
Because they'll get more money being ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
No. So, I mean, if you're going to go see a DC film, you're going to see a DC film.
yeah.
Well,
If you're
not
gonna see a Marvel film,
necessarily.
you're going to see a Marvel film.
I mean,
And if you're going to see all of them, you're going to see all of them.
if people are like riding high on how good they thought Guardians was, and then 2 months later another comic book movie comes out, because there were a lot of people, most people didn't know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were, and they went and saw it. I mean, it was a huge box office success. They went and saw the movie. So now you take 2 of the most recognizable superheroes of all time in 2 months from the Guardians movie. That's a lot of energy still riding on that.
Yeah.
It's smarter to push it up. If you wait 6-7 months, that momentum's kind of died
I'm
a little
seeing
bit.
them as, like, competing, not, like, piggybacking off of each
Oh
other.
yeah, they definitely competing money wise, but they're definitely
Right.
piggybacking off of each other, no doubt about
Yeah,
it.
the way I see it, though, is if they're pushing it ahead of time in order to distance themselves from each other, I think it's smart for DC because people, like you said, that want to see both will see both, but now they have time to. They have 2 months period where they can watch Batman vs Superman as many times as they want within that time, and then still be able to, in a couple months, watch.
Sorry.
Oh my god!
I don't know what that was.
But yeah, I think it makes the most sense for everybody. Really, it's kind of a win-win because everybody has enough time to watch both, and without it.
You're really distracted. Are you all right?
I'm sorry.
What was
It
that?
was like a lot. It was like gas. It was
Obviously.
like a burp, but then a hiccup at the same time, and like got lodged in my throat.
Oh my
So does it hurt?
Nah, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Because it looks like you're
It did hurt when it
seriously
happened,
disturbed somehow.
You're just sitting
but
here
I'm
like
good now. It hurt when it happened, but I'm alright.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, what I was saying about the additional films is that DC went ahead and signed 9 more movies until 2020.
Yeah, 18 or 20, I heard.
It's 20.
Okay.
But they're all untitled, undecided films. Meanwhile, Marvel has 9 more films until 2019.
Okay.
And they have them all the way up until... I forgot. The second Guardians.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 18 movies within the next 6 years. So we're going to get about 3 a year.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Especially coming from, where these kind of movies were.
They're starting to take over like the type of films that are made
Yeah.
that people, like actually go and see.
Yeah, they've have that slot now where it's like every year there's like a really good drama, a really good comedy, There's that big romantic movie, and now there's the superhero movie.
Yep.
There needs to be at least one every year now.
Right, and they're trying to like reboot every single type of superhero, which like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles took a stab and failed horribly.
Yeah.
But every superhero IP is not off limits.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
they're all you can reboot all of these if you want.
Yeah. And I mean,
Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a reboot.
Ooh.
Ooh, what? Beep, beep. reboot.
Get on it,
I
Hollywood.
thought they were doing that.
I don't think so.
They were
Not a movie, but I thought they were bringing the show back.
I didn't hear about that.
I want to see Battle of the Gods.
Battle of the Gods.
The Dragon Ball Z movie.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I heard mixed things about it. I heard it's a lot of like BS before they actually get to fighting, and the story's not very good.
It's always a lot of BS.
So that's the
That's-
DBZ.
that's the
that's
show.
Dragon
Yeah,
Ball.
That's the show.
Yeah.
That's the niche.
So-
And apparently there's no Kamehameha, which is very disappointing.
There's-
well,
Spirit
you know,
Bomb?
something
Doubt it.
Something.
with the Kai shit. The I noticed that they didn't use any of the names of their like special moves.
That's the best part.
That's what I'm saying. Like anytime Piccolo would do the special beam cannon, like he didn't say it, and I thought it was weird, so I started to pay attention. I've never heard them in the Kai one. Like I don't know if it's like some copyright thing, or maybe they're cutting the time out, or I don't know what it is. But I never heard Kamehameha, and I
What are we
never
talking
heard
about?
Dragon Ball.
when they brought it back. It was
Kai.
Dragon Ball Z Kai,
Right.
And they
Oh.
brought it back and they trimmed it down, and then like
Okay, yeah, you got to see who made that shit. Because if it was Funimation's credits at the end, yeah, but I can see someone picking it up and.
I don't know if it was Funimation. That's
I don't know
a
what's
good
up with
question.
that.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird, and I didn't like it. It made me not watch it. Like I stopped watching it because I was watching the episode where they're fighting Raditz, and he's holding. It was the epic where he's holding them, and he's like, "Fucking
Right.
do it, man!" He's like, "I'm gonna kill you too."
I don't know if he said that. Fucking do it, man!
Do it, man!
Do it, man!
But it's like that really climactic scene where he's like, "You got to do it." I know it's gonna go through me and him. It's gonna kill us both, whatever. And then he does it, but he doesn't say it. He just does it. And I'm like, no, that took all the wind out of it, man. Like, there's nothing to that now. If he just
How do you
throws
just
it?
he spends a long time charging it.
Yes, he spends like
couple
4
like
episodes
episodes
charging
worth
it.
of charging it, and then he just throws it.
Yeah.
and there's no like, huh.
Right? No, he just
that.
fucking
Ta-
and I'm
take
like,
it.
Just does it, and it ruined it.
And
So.
if that was all he needs to do, just get it done in one episode.
Right. What's the point of even naming your moves at that point if you're not gonna fucking say it? Anyway, where were we going with this?
I don't know. We
Marvel
just
movies and stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we meandered into that.
We
right.
talked about them rebooting everything in the Teenage Mutant.
That's
Yes,
right.
yes.
That's right.
Talking about rebooting everything. Actually heard a rumor that the new Spider-Man 3 movie that would be coming out eventually, since, Spider-Man 2 was out recently and not good.
Did you guys watch it?
I watched it.
I watched it.
I don't recommend
Okay,
it.
this is conflicting. I liked it. Why didn't you like it?
Well, first of all, they did the cardinal sin of part 3 again.
Yes, way
which
too
was
many.
way too much crap happening. The plot was a mess. Like, I didn't care about what was going on. It felt like they took maybe like 2.5 movies and kind of smushed them together.
Yeah,
Like
I
it
can
would
see that.
It would have been really tight if it was just, the Goblin story.
Wait, tight how?
Tight, like compact.
Oh,
Also,
I know. At first, I thought he meant like it would have been tight,
And
bro.
you
If
never
they
say
would have
that,
just
so-
yeah. And
Hey,
it was
bro.
weird hearing him say it.
that junk would have
Would've
been dope.
tight.
Yeah, no, it would have been a much tighter film, and I think a better film for it if they just stuck to one of those storylines. So
right.
I
That's-
didn't-
That's what I thought they were gonna do initially.
Yeah.
and then I Ermos,
You can.
Spoiler alert! He defeats Electro, and then after that, I was like, okay, where are they gonna go? And then
Right.
they introduce Harry Osborn. It's
Yeah.
very short after they introduce Harry Osborn to where Electro gets defeated, and then they kind of overlap each
Yeah.
other. I get what they're doing, they're like short stories, but I didn't like that. I wanted one main villain, and maybe him get some henchmen,
right.
and he did, but there wasn't enough time with Harry becoming Green Goblin
No.
because it's kind of like, all right, he defeats Electro and then he becomes Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Or Hobgoblin, sorry.
Right. Honestly, I could have done without.
So he's technically Hobgoblin in the movie.
Yes, because his father's Green Goblin.
Well, but his dad dies
Yes.
in this universe before
Right.
we ever see him.
No.
Well, we
No?
see him.
No, he
he's
doesn't.
just never Green Goblin. They allude to he's the Green Goblin because they show his hands. But
So there is a Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Because in the first one, he's dying, and
there's-
that's the reason that
There's
Dr.
a
Connors
Green
is working
Goblin
on
in the
the...
sense that Hobgoblin or the Harry Osborn's father is Green Goblin.
Right.
Just like in the other Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
And then Harry Osborn himself becomes the Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
But they never show Green Goblin in uniform. Or
That's what
anything
I'm saying. Like, they never really...
They hint towards it because when Harry's going
Yeah.
through his computer files, he finds the suit that his father was wearing.
Well, in this universe, isn't it the twist is that Harry's going to get killed and
Yes.
then his father's going to become...
That's what I liked about Hobgoblin, though, is that they actually gave him motive behind
Yeah.
his actions. Like, he's not going after Spider-Man just for any small reason. His life depends on Spider-Man's
Right.
death. Like, he needs his blood to study.
Well, not even death, just for him to allow him to get his blood.
Right.
That was the thing. He's like, nope, I'm not going to do it because it's experimental, and I don't want you messing with, chemistry. I don't know.
But he's a scientist.
Way to go, Adam.
Yeah.
I need to watch it now.
Who's a
'cause
scientist?
Peter.
See,
Peter's
that's the thing. Like, that's the other. Like, there were parts that bothered me. Like, yes, Peter Parker is supposed to be a scientist. He's supposed to be very smart. But in Spider-Man 2, he just graduated high school.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to believe Andrew Garfield, who's however old in real life, is 18
Yeah.
in Spider-Man.
It's closer to 30 in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. I need to watch it. Gwen Stacy dies, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I
And
thought.
that got to me because Emma Stone?
Yeah.
Emma Stone's character and her as Gwen Stacy was so likable.
Yeah,
in
she
my
was
opinion.
great. She
Yeah.
was. Don't
There
get me
was
wrong.
Definitely chemistry
That's probably why
between
they killed
Andrew
her.
Garfield and
Because of how likable she was.
right
Yeah.
and Emma Stone.
Well, no, they killed her because that's part of the lore.
Well, no, I'm saying like
That's not part of the lore because
it is.
no, she definitely
Yeah,
dies.
she
I
dies
thought Gwen
that way.
Stacy becomes Black Cat.
No. That's Felicia
Gwen
Day.
Stacy
or
dies-
Felicia
Yes.
Hardy, is it? Felicia?
Forgot.
Gwen Stacy
Her name's
dies, and that
Felicia.
gives Spider-Man the motivation to try to be distant with Mary Jane afterward. That's why he has that philosophy. Because in the original trilogy, it was just you guys could get hurt, and it was like, why would you assume that? But in this one now, it gives credence to that that line of thinking.
Right.
That
thought
And
process.
the
Yeah.
thing was like that wasn't just like a small point that they touched on in 2. There were parts in the movie where like Peter sees visions of Dennis Leary's character, and he's just like he's leering at him from afar, and he's in the cop uniform, just like stay the fuck away from my daughter, bro.
Yeah. Well, because
Funny.
he knew the danger of it.
Right, but the thing like they set that mindset up so well that all right, well he asked him to promise him while he was dying that he would leave Gwen out of it. He
Yeah.
never did.
Yeah.
And while he was doing it, he felt guilt towards it, which ultimately led to Gwen Stacy dying, like his father, like
Yeah.
her father said so. And if he just didn't,
Right. It's
fucking-
all a very tragic story arc and stuff like that. I liked it a lot. I liked certain elements of it. Don't get me wrong, but as a whole, the movie didn't work for me at all. It was overpacked.
I liked it.
I stopped caring about halfway through.
It was very comic booky for me. I liked it. A lot.
I like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man.
Right. If you
awesome.
like Speed Racer and you saw Speed Racer for something it wasn't trying to be anything it wasn't.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of see Spider-Man, where if it was just a comic book translated onto film, that's all it is. Any comic book trope or stereotype
Yeah.
onto film. Okay?
Just, for me, it boils down to the plot, and the plot didn't work for me. They could have easily taken out everything with Electro, and the movie would have been at least 10 times better.
What did you think of Electro? Jamie Foxx's
I
Electro.
hated it. I
You
hated
did?
it. He was corny as Electro. He was playing like Professor Clump the entire time, just going, oh well, I'm a nervous guy. I'm a scientist. Let me put up my broken glasses. Like he was a stereotypical dorky guy, and it looked like a cool guy playing a dorky guy the entire time for me.
Yeah.
It didn't
think
work
so?
for me. Yeah, it didn't work for me at all. Like the entire time, I wasn't buying it whatsoever. Like I'm like, this guy's not a real
I
character.
think this goes back to just suspending our disbelief, because
guess so.
I was able to do it with that. I was just like, okay, it's Jamie Foxx, playing a stupid character, but he's gonna play him well,
I get it. Reminded me of like the worst that Batman ever got in film.
Really?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Man, that's harsh.
He has
No, don't say that.
he has like a stupid comb over, and like he's the lab coat wearing doofus. That he's a brilliant scientist, but he has
Electro?
this, but
No,
he has
he's
this
not.
chip on his shoulder.
Oh, actually, yeah, he is because he designed that.
Yeah.
He said in the movie he designed that.
And
shit.
then there's the bad guy that he works with that is always putting him down. Of course he's gonna come back after him and have this chip on. And why is he going after Spider-Man the entire time?
He goes after Spider-Man the entire time because he forgets his name.
Okay, so
He has a huge issue with that, and then he idolizes Spider-Man.
Okay. That doesn't sound like enough to want to kill somebody. We need to let this go. You guys are like talking about the entire movie.
That's true. Okay.
This is a
You
lot of
said it was
time.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's like a 2.5 hour movie.
For me,
Yeah,
it's
it's very
fine.
long.
I would love to listen to you guys talk about it, but
Yeah.
for the podcast, you can't sit here and like explain the entire movie.
2.5 hours later.
So let's try to get back on track here.
Yeah. In closing, you liked it. I did not.
I liked it. If you can suspend your disbelief and just imagine it as a comic book movie, and you're familiar with comic books and similar tropes of that, then yeah, it's a couple issues slammed together. I'll agree with that.
It's a scene of vignettes that make a whole movie
Yes.
together. My problem with that is that it's a film and it needs to work cohesively as one movie, and it didn't for me. Coming back to the point, bringing this all the way back around. What I was going to say was, if you're hoping for Spider-Man 3 to come out, don't hold your breath, because they pushed that back for another, 5 years or something.
That's dumb.
Yeah, so now, instead of Spider-Man 3, we're going to be getting a Venom Carnage movie,
Not okay with that.
and we're also getting the Sinister Six movie.
That ship is sailed as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Sinister Six
Yeah.
with no Spider-Man. Venom and Carnage with no Spider-Man.
Why? I mean,
what we
what
hear.
that movie? What is that movie going to be about then? Two villains?
Hanging out.
Like, yeah.
What they're going to do with
Because
that
if Venom's going to be the good guy, because I know he becomes
what
like
they're
an
gonna- that's
anti-hero
what they're
in
gonna
the
do.
comic book, but Venom is much, much better as a straight-up villain.
Yeah.
Like, it was cool, like in the cartoon, like to see him kind of be on Spider-Man's side at some point, and then the symbiote is there, and it's like it's really cool. But at the same time, Venom as a villain, there's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to see Venom fighting Carnage
Well,
without Spider-Man.
thematically, think about it this way: why would you set him up to be like an anti-hero if you're going to make him eventually a villain for Spider-Man to fight?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. That's going in the wrong order.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, he has to be a villain first.
Right.
Yeah.
And want to kill Spider-Man.
Yeah. And then he becomes redeemable somehow, and then we care
Then
about.
he becomes an anti-hero.
Right.
That's the point. That's how you make an anti-hero.
And then they join the Fantastic Four.
God damn it!
Blah, blah, blah. Why are we better at this than Hollywood?
Hollywood-
I don't know. I don't know.
We have less money invested.
I wonder why they won't just, like Fox, won't just give Marvel back the rights to Fantastic Four.
Just strike
X-Men.
up a deal. Strike up
Or
a
X-Men,
deal.
yeah, X-Men, sorry. It's X-Men. That
Sexmen.
Fox has. Sexmen.
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 It's the
Just
porn
strike up a
version.
deal, a mutually beneficial deal, and oh my god, I'd be so happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
But no.
anyway,
Yep.
well, I mean, I guess we'll see in the coming years what comes of that. There's also talks about them doing maybe a Black Cat movie.
Don't want it.
Don't really care.
Thought we did that
honestly.
already. With
Don't really care.
Electra.
What?
Yeah, well, that was a point that was brought up to Kevin Feige, and they asked him straight up why there weren't more women-led superhero movies, and he said, "Well, I mean, we'd like that to happen, but it
Because
takes
they've
years."
all been awful.
And they brought that up too. They said, "Well, it's been done in the past, but it's been done horribly. So we'd like to do that eventually, but it takes years to get these movies developed."
Well, if they put the amount of time, energy, and the amount
Right, meow.
of time and energy and just creative prowess to put these movies together, if they did that for a female lead, they could have a good movie.
Yeah.
But they don't. You know? All the fucking the investment into, like Captain America 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they picked like Black Widow, not maybe Black Widow, because she's kind of like, she's in with the Avengers and everything. I can't really see her having her own movie.
No.
Because what's gonna happen is they'll give her own movie, but Chris Evans will be in it,
Yeah.
and
They're
Samuel Jackson will be in
They're
it.
literally gonna turn it into Lucy again.
Right. So they would need to pick another character, but they could do it. They could make a really good movie with a female lead.
Yeah.
In it. They just haven't.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true. I agree with that.
Who?
What do you mean? Which character or which
Yes.
actress?
What character?
Could be
Find a character leading female superhero character.
Wonder Woman.
And we'll cast it in.
the Wonder Woman movie would be really good,
All right,
in my opinion.
cast it then.
With Gal Gadot?
No,
Okay.
I don't like that casting.
I mean, I don't think any of us did from our last
I mean,
podcast
she's
on it.
cute, but
Wonder Woman
Woman's
isn't
not
cute.
cute.
Wonder Woman is not
she's
cute.
she's an Amazonian. I picture Wonder Woman in real life as like 6'3",
Yeah.
like,
Kind of scary.
but still like gorgeous.
Right. Unfairly
But, like,
attractive,
right.
but super strong looking.
Yeah, and Gal Gadot is not that.
No.
She's skinny and
Not even in that production still they had recently.
yeah. Even
her
in that
costume.
picture, still looked like. No, she's just not the woman that I pictured
No.
as Wonder Woman, man.
She looked better than I would have expected in costume, but
Yeah, but that poster did everything for her. I mean, she's in costume. The poster looks real dope.
there's like a
and
volcano
she's-
in the background.
Right. She's got fucking the sword in her. She's got the shield and the fucking lasso, and it's
yeah.
like
Haven't
she
seen
looks.
it, but
You
I
haven't seen the
wanna- no, I
poster?
wanna see
Yeah,
it
the
now,
poster's
though.
pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't make you. No, it doesn't really do it. She's not it. But on the spot,
The character of Wonder Woman would be an intriguing one to do.
any female wrestler probably, most of them, not China because
No.
she's been. Yeah.
That's rough.
But there's female wrestlers now who might be able to pull that off. But as far as somebody in Hollywood,
It's hard to find that balance though, because if you're going for a wrestler, you need to find somebody that's also having the right acting chops for that role too.
yeah, that's true.
You know, it's just like when we were talking about having an MMA fighter, you know, to act as Wonder Woman or any other female strong character.
Yeah,
They may have the look, but if they can't act, then
Yeah,
I think
the talent isn't there. Then what's your point?
Right.
that's true. Very true. Very true.
So I don't know.
Because we saw Ronda Rousey in Expendables 3.
Yeah.
That shit didn't work.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
I don't get that. It's just Sylvester Stallone just bored now. He's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
He's just having fun. He's just like, fuck it, just put all my friends in it. I don't give a shit.
I heard rumors of an Expendables coming out.
Oh, shut up.
Let's end that there then.